Good evening. My name is Lucinda. I'm a hair restoration specialist and also a cosmetologist. We have some great skills and talent and also science behind what we do. We help people with all types of hair conditions, scalp conditions, and we help them have alternatives and solutions to any of their problems. So we have some great guests tonight and some exciting news to share because we have the latest technology and it's so fun. This is my guest here. This is Kathy. And Kathy is wearing hair. And she doesn't look like she's wearing hair, but she is. And we're going to show you that later. She also is a trichology client. She's had all types of scoping. We do a trichoanalysis scoping, and it blows your hair up 200 times so you can see your scalp in hair. Most of the time we just treat our hair. We don't even think about the scalp. But the scalp is very important, as you'll see tonight, how important taking care of your scalp is, because if you don't take care of your scalp, you'll have more hair loss sooner, quicker, and we can't revive something that's already gone. But if it's a little bit alive, we can restore. So, and I want also introduce my next guest is Rhonda. She's a very educated woman, and she's going to let you know about it. Rhonda.
Oh, you want me to do that now?
Just say who you are.
So my name is Rhonda McCarthy, and I travel around the United States doing seminars and training seminars. I'm also a part of the research and development for the hair replacement and the hair loss industry. It's a really exciting time in our industry, not only because in the past we've only been able to help people who are losing their hair, or in the process of losing their hair, or have already lost their hair. Now we can actually prevent hair loss from happening, and that is super exciting for us. It's been in research and development for many years, and now it's a proven science. And so what Lucinda just showed you, that picture, is a normal scalp, someone who really takes really good care of their scalp. And what we found is, if let's say hair loss runs in your family, and your mom has hair loss, or your sister has hair loss, or your dad has hair loss, and you might have this great looking head of hair, but this fear of losing hair loss because it runs in your family. Well, guess what? You can keep that hair loss from ever happening now. And not only that, but like Lucinda alluded to, if the hair follicle, and Lucinda, can you hold that picture up again?
Sure.
The first one. So this is a scalp, and this is a clean scalp under the microscope, but you can see that there's pollution, and there's a lot of things that impede the growth of hair and the health of hair. So now if you flip it after one treatment, look at the difference of those hair follicles. So if you could take every hair on your head and make it thicker and stronger, and not only that, shinier and healthier, but also those follicles that you thought were dead that are no longer growing hair. But it's not because the follicle is dead, it's just because it's filled with all kinds of gook and stuff pollution and stuff that we put in our hair every day. That makes it a clean environment for the hair to grow, and it grows nice and thick and healthy, and it takes up more volume on your scalp, and it's a huge breakthrough in technology.
And she could attest to this because she had a big part,
a wide part, and in the front of my forehead here, there was a very thin spot. And with the treatments, the spot is gone, and the part is now thinner. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's still growing.
Yes. And it's been what, 7 months?
Yes.
So when you go, at least, like prepare. Everybody likes my front of my place because it's beautiful, has flowers.
Yes.
But I have to prepare that soil. And when we were in class for trichology, they talked about that, preparing the soil. And I have a compost pile, and I go out there and I give it all this nice vitamins and good stuff for my plants. So your scalp is the same. You have to take care of it because it gets a lot of debris. Men don't, they like this, that they have too much male hormone, but the problem is they get too much DHTA, which everybody's heard about that now. It's dihydrotestosterone. Too much male hormone. Oh, they think it's funny. But what happens, it gets waxy substance on their scalp and chokes off the circulation. So the follicle gets smaller and smaller until it's weakened. See this follicle here? It's very, very little. So we can have this follicle be healthy like this one.
Yeah.
We can do that. So that's the amazing breakthrough technology of today's science. And they've worked very hard at this. We've seen amazing results throughout the United States.
Throughout the United States. And the millennials, the younger people, men and women alike, are really super excited about this because they don't want to lose their hair. You look at those styles those young guys have nowadays, and the last thing they want is to shave their head, because that's what their dad did, right? So they don't want to do that. They want to have their hair, and so a lot of them are coming. They're in droves, and saying, hey, what is this? What is this? And will it help me? And the answer is yes. Because as dihydrotestosterone, it's predetermined at birth which follicles it's going to attack. And so with this new technology by a trained, certified professional, it can reverse that from happening.
Hair.
Yeah, look at my hair. I use it too.
I mean,
yes.
I mean, usually I take my hair off and on and show everybody that I have this fine thin hair, which I still have fine thin hair, but each follicle is thicker now.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just did a triscope the other day, and it was like, wow, my scalp is clean. And you said something in the salon that.
Yes, my hair comes out silky and soft. I've never had thick hair, but it's coming back to be a little thicker than it used to be. And it's amazing, even my husband has noticed.
Yeah, I had a business owner in Naples, Florida, and she was telling me about one of her clients that she's been doing her hair for over 30 years, and she's never, ever, in 30 years, cut her bangs. Or did anything with this woman's bangs, because her bangs just didn't grow. And so she would fix the rest of her hair, but she never did anything with the bangs. And now she has to cut her bangs, which is pretty fantastic. And the results happen pretty quickly. So it's an exciting time in our industry, definitely.
Yes, I trade off 2 shampoos. I didn't think I had oily scalp, but I do. And then I use a normalizing and then the drops. And you're using oily and normalizing, and you're using a new shedding.
Yeah, seasonal shedding shampoo.
Yes, because some people shed seasonal twice a year. And when we start taking care of the scalp, those follicles are released from all that garbage that's holding on to that follicle, and that doesn't allow it to push through. So you do shed right away when we start doing the treatments. But we also just give people shampoo, conditioner, and they go home and voila. And
I know.
And it helps.
And then when they come back in and they get scoped again, it's amazing. The results are amazing. It really is.
Yeah, we've seen throughout the country, everybody. I mean, I went to Betty's in California and saw some of the results. Talked to some of the people too.
It's going on in New York City. I mean, there's a whole revolution of people becoming certified. It's important that you You know, that everybody, a consumer gets really educated and does their homework, because there are a lot of, unfortunately, there are a lot of scams out there. I teach about that when I, nationwide. Because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, there's a lot of, you hear a lot of, buy this and it'll regrow your hair, buy that and it'll and there's no one thing that you heard. Yours was, your formulation is different than yours, it's different than mine. So it just depends upon, you have to go to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Right.
But if you do, it can really make a difference.
Right. And people that have psoriasis or seborrhea or eczema, any of those conditions, we can help. We can take over. Even alopecia, some forms of alopecia, we can help stop the itching and all the turns. And cancer patients, I had a girl the other day come in, her hair was so thick because she used the product before she had chemo, during and after, and then she came with this thick head of hair. It was all gray, we had to color it, but she was thrilled because she got her hair and she wasn't itchy, because some of the medications make them so dry.
Well, I know in the past the doctors didn't want, the oncologists did not want them to introduce any other chemicals into their system while they were doing their chemo. But with this product, this revolutionary product, they're able to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't harm them, and in fact, it helps them.
And we're trying to educate the dermatologists what we're doing, so we can bridge that gap between cosmetology and dermatology, because we can help them further. I mean, a lot of dermatologists will do cortisone shots on alopecia, but there's not much they can do for female pattern. And what do they tell people they have? Oh, you have androgenetic alopecia.
Or unexplained hair loss.
Yeah, we don't know, androgenetic. That just means female pattern baldness, and everybody comes in thinking, oh, I got this disease, androgenetic alopecia.
And all it is DHT. It's the same thing that affects men. It just affects us differently because it affects our whole head instead of just that U shape.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they think they've got some crazy thing going on, when it's just normal hair loss that's going to happen if you don't take care of your scalp.
And the sooner you do it, the better. So the second, if you have hair loss that runs in your family, it's really important that you get in. Even if you have a gorgeous head of hair, you know, go in, have your exam, see what's going on with your scalp, and take the formulation home.
Take heed with it.
So that you can keep that hair forever. I mean, if you wait too long, and the follicles start to die, once a follicle's dead, it's dead. There's nothing in this whole industry that can bring it back. Yeah.
You can't give a little follicle CPR.
So then there's other solutions that we can use, but this is really exciting.
This is a follicle. This is a follicle in a cell, and you can see how busy that skin is. The skin really, really has a lot of function. People don't realize when people lose their eyebrows, they get sweat in their eyes, and they lose their lung hair. They can't. It's a medical condition. It's called alopecia universalis. But people suffer from all kinds of hair loss.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, and the more knowledge we have to help these different ailments and different conditions, different disorders, the better off the person is going to be, because we have to help them. And I'm trying to educate the dermatologists that we do know what we're doing as cosmetologists and trichologists, and we really want to partner with them.
Are we allowed to let the viewers know, give them a hint as to what a scam alert might be?
Yeah, you can. For instance, and she knows too, because she's gone to.
I've gone to 2 different dermatologists. Both of them prescribed Rogaine. And I wasn't comfortable with that. It's expensive, it's messy, and I didn't have the comfort level that the dermatologist cared about my issue. I didn't go through with the treatment on the Rogaine,
Right.
so I'm not sure if it worked at all. I took a chance on Lucinda, and I'm glad I did.
She's fantastic.
But I was very
Have a good
nervous
team.
and skeptical
Yeah.
about the process. And you have to be patient, and I didn't have patience because I wanted immediate gratification, and it just didn't happen. You've got to give it at least 3 to 4 months.
At least.
Yeah.
And that-
we say 6 months to a year.
But I think with the scope, I think you can show them sooner. Like if you come
Right
back
away.
within a month, you
Yeah,
can
right
can
away.
show the difference very, very, very quickly. And you know, I will say this: there's a lot of people out there that call themselves trichology, and they're using trichology. Again, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. I would caution everybody, number one, if they don't do scopes, if they don't scope your scalp, and they don't offer that as a regular occurrence so that you can see, because you didn't lose your hair overnight. So like when we don't lose our hair overnight and we're looking at ourselves in the mirror every day, we don't notice that we've lost our hair until it's like
Desperate.
until we've really
Yes.
lost our hair.
Desperate. Yeah.
And
I
the
mean-
same thing's going to happen coming back. But in the trichology world, if they're giving the same box of trichology, the same box of product to Lucinda, who has oily, and to me, who has dry, and to her, who has seasonal shed, if they're giving the same product,
this one isn't.
that's something, you know, that you want to kind of, I'd caution you on.
Okay, what we're doing here is Kathy's wearing a topper, what we call a topper, a hairpiece, because while her hair was growing back, she needed something to cover up.
She wanted immediate gratification.
So we gave it to her. We gave it to her, but now
Look at
she
her.
has a lot of follicles that weren't there before.
Definitely.
And she has a lot of, I need that
Over here.
rake, yeah. She has a lot more hair, and she's really excited about it. And anybody that grows their hair back is really, I'm excited. I mean, people say, that's your real hair? I go, yes, that's my real hair. And she had a biggest part. Now she doesn't. Look at this.
That's where I notice it the most, is in the bang. It starts to happen like in the bang area and in the part area, and then it takes the rest of your hair and just makes it thicker, and it's just, I love it. I have, by the way, I have one too that I use for when I have special occasions and I want to just go out on the town.
I have lots of them. And I also have wigs. I have wigs too, because if I put a helmet on, all my sports, my hair's stuck to my head. So I go in the girls' room, take out my little backpack, take my little hair out, and then I put it on. Instantly. I have instant hair, instant gratification.
But look at the color match. Isn't that gorgeous? So we can match any color with 100% human hair, exactly like yours in density, and it just looks amazing. So if she's going on a cruise and she wants to, you know, or out to dinner one night, a special occasion, and she just, while her own hair is growing using the trichology, eventually you won't have to do that.
She wants to do a small little piece soon, because she doesn't need all this hair anymore.
No.
Eventually, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She
Eventually,
doesn't need
you won't need that.
Because now she has so much of her own hair back that
Yeah.
before it was so see-through-y, and I don't like too much bang on her, but she switches up. She does a good job by herself too. Don't you? I think you do. Do you think you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, she comes in, she does her treatment, and then she just flops out her hairpiece, and she's good to go.
Huh?
No fuss, no muss.
That's right.
And I want to thank you, Kathy, for coming on and
Oh,
sharing.
you're quite welcome.
It's very devastating to have a hair loss, and for you to be brave enough to come up here. And,
Oh my God, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
Lucinda and I do this a lot, and I do it all over the world. So God help me. I'm on. It's like it's my stories everywhere. But yeah, it's a tough thing to do the first couple times. So
And
thank
we're
you.
going to bring on Ed next, who is going to talk a lot about the laser, which is part of what we do for the treatments.
I use this
Yeah.
as well with my trichology, and it fits in my suitcase, and Ed's going to tell us all about this and why it works.
Let me show you how to put that one on.
But this, I carry that in my suitcase, and when I travel, because I travel a lot, and it just, if the trichology gives your scalp the perfect environment to regrow hair, this accelerates it, and it makes it happen faster. And it's amazing. And that's FDA approved to regrow hair. So
yeah, we have everything we need to.
you can walk around and do whatever you want to do.
Watch TV and put this on.
Yeah.
We used to have the handheld, and I met Randy. God, I've had a big machine for 15 years, but Randy invented all these things, and we had domes at one time.
Yeah, it's come a long way. There's a lot of different types.
They can go right on the
Yeah.
scalp and really feel the difference. So this is our next guest. He's an expert on laser. So we're going to bring him up next, Kathy, and I want to thank you. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're going to have some exciting new technology for you. Okay? Thanks. Hi, I want to introduce you to one of my great friends and guests, and this is Ed. He is an expert in laser treatments, all types of laser. This is a laser here, and I'm going to hand it to him, and he's going to explain what this does.
Thank you, Lucinda.
You're welcome.
What you're seeing here is the latest technology in laser treatments. I was a little bit too late with the laser because I started losing my hair when I was 26 years old, and that was many, many years ago. So I didn't have the options like we have today, but thank goodness I went and saw somebody that I thought could help me, and they did, and I am wearing hair. Usually if people don't know that I'm wearing hair, they never have any idea that I'm wearing a top of the head like we showed with Kathy earlier, but mine is what we call permanently attached. It's put on with a medical grade adhesive, and I shower with it every day, and I go swimming. I drive the convertible, no problems whatsoever, and it's 100% human hair, and I treat it like it was my own growing hair. The reason I got involved with something bigger and better than what I already had was that I wanted to help other people not have the same experience that I did at such an early age. It's very traumatic. They think it's just for women, but it's for men too, that
Yes.
they have sleepless nights about not having hair, or they see, as Rhonda said earlier, dad had it, mom had it, grandma had it, so on and so forth, and you are predetermined to have hair loss somewhere along the line, and I thought there had to be a better way to get around that. And so I started looking into the laser. This is a cool laser, so I'm going to have Rhonda put this on real quick to prove to you that she's not going to scream and holler about terrible heat. It is a cool laser. The reason that came about in the first place is many years ago with unfortunate people that had burns through fires or accidents, whatever the case may be. They were using a similar technology for burn victims, and they found that when they were giving the treatments in the burned areas, that there was more hair growth in that particular area. So that led the scientists to doing some more checking around, and sure enough, that type of laser technology was actually growing hair. So 20 years ago, or even longer, when it was not fashionable to have laser therapy treatments for the hair, I started that at a facility I was involved with, and we grew our demographic by many people who did not want to wear hair and did not need to wear hair. They just wanted to keep the hair they had or make it a little bit thicker,
Yep.
make the scalp healthier, and so on and so forth. So it was a slow start. I'm not going to lie to you. It didn't happen overnight. At that time, we didn't have the products, the trichology products that we have available today. And but over time, over the last, particularly, what would you say, about 10 years, 12 years with the trichology?
It's taken about that long for us
Yeah.
to get them perfected.
Absolutely. And now with the products, we have a whole different type of program or procedure or options to offer people that walk in Lucinda's door, for example, and say, hey, I'm not really losing my hair yet, but I'm afraid that I'm going to because, again, family, heredity, and so on and so forth. So these products came into being, but again, we went through a series of years, numbers of years, where we were using products because these people were telling us that they would work, but it was the same thing you ladies talked about earlier. They give them the same shampoo, the same conditioner, the same lotion, whatever, oily skin, dry skin, psoriasis, whatever the case may be, they were giving it to the same people, and it just didn't work. So as the trichology process continued, and we were finding these products that were being created for specific maladies that people were suffering from, based with the products and the use of the laser at home on a regular basis, the two of them were working together. The biggest part of the success of the laser is to increase the blood flow to the scalp. As we know, our heart is here. We're trying to pump that blood upwards, and the blood's not wanting to cooperate, but with the laser, it's pulling that hair, that blood flow up to the scalp and to your hair to make your scalp and hair healthier. And we found using the trichology products and the laser, we were seeing tremendous results. So they're kind of like a booster shot to each other. The laser enhances the products, and the products enhances the laser. And we're seeing in testimonial just with Kathy here a little bit ago, we're getting these type of testimonials from people saying, I didn't have hair there for 10 years or 15 years, and that hair is starting to grow again. Now, we're not going to tell people who have follicles that are gone and never going to help again. We're not going to be able to do it, but we're able to limit that loss, and so that they're not going to continue to experience that. And again, we have this wonderful array of hair that Lucinda will talk about again. But at the same time, we have this younger generation that Rhonda mentioned, the millennials that are coming in. They're going to the gymnasiums every day. They're wanting to look their best. They're getting the Botox. They're getting all these things that are available out there, but they're not being able to do anything with their hair loss. And now we can stop that. We can control it. We can help it. So as Rhonda said earlier, what we couldn't do before, we can now. We can help you keep that hair that you were predetermined to lose. It's going to be there. It fights the DHT with the products and the laser and so on and so forth. One of the things that we'll recommend to people too, stop smoking. Smoking is a big deterrent to hair loss because it clogs all the blood vessels and so on and so forth, so the blood can't get up there. And so this poor laser machine is really having to pump and pump and pump in order to get that blood flow up there. So we can do what they couldn't do 10 years ago, 20 years, 30 years ago. The technology is there, it's available. Rhonda and I do a lot of traveling, as she mentioned, and we're going to facilities who are having tremendous success with their studios. It's because they have hope, and they offer options that we couldn't offer even 3 years ago, 5 years ago.
Absolutely
It's out there now, and people are hesitant because of the scams that we talked about a little bit earlier, and there are a lot of them out there. And when you go into a reputable facility, rather than calling 1-800, I want more hair, you're going into a facility where you see somebody who can give you the scoping. And the scoping, like you saw the pictures earlier, the scoping is amazing, and seeing is believing. And when you come in here on the first day of the month, and you have your treatments and you have your laser, and you come back 30 days and you can see another picture of the scoping area. And as Rhonda said, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to be patient, but it is going to happen. And one of the things that we really have to get across to people, particularly the ladies, is that they will lose up to 50% of their hair before they even realize that they're losing their hair. And by then, half of the hair is gone.
And then they get really, really, really depressed because they look in the mirror and they go, it's a loss.
And it happens. It's weird how that happens. It's like, for me, and I've been in this industry forever, and for me, it was like, one day I just looked in the mirror, and I had been picking hair up off the floor for I don't know how long, not thinking a thing. And then one day I looked in the mirror and I thought, oh my God, what is going on?
What happened to it?
So before trichology, I started with just laser. And the laser was helping, and it was thickening. It was making, I used to tell women, if you could, who were, I went through the change, change of life, that wonderful time, and my each hair thinned. And so I thought, well, if I could make each hair thicker, it would take up more volume on my scalp and make me appear as if I had more hair. So I started to use the laser, and the laser was working, but it was working slower. Now that I'm using trichology and laser together, and because this is remote and I can throw this in my suitcase, it's amazing. I mean, I couldn't be happier, and the difference, I wish I had a before picture of me, but the difference is amazing, and I just couldn't be happier. I had bald spots. I literally had bald spots.
I have a picture where when we came back from the trichology class, we scoped me, and I had this big part, and now I don't have it anymore. And people see that. And I've had a laser machine, 15 years ago, when we went out to California with Chris Webb and Randy and everything. They showed us the hair blown up like a big screen, and we were all like, we saw all the action going on, and scalp.
Laser was always amazing, but you had to, you had to go into the location, and with someone with my schedule, I wasn't able to do that consistently. So the remote lasers have really changed the way people can handle their hair loss or their hair regrowth. I mean, it's actually regrowth. I mean, it's regrowing my hair. And it's regrowing women's hair.
And I think all three of us can testify that we've all seen situations where somebody, particularly a lady, has come in and said, I'm losing my hair. And we say, you've got tons of hair up there. And she said, I've got to do something about it. And you say, well, we sell wigs, or we have toppers, or we don't have anything that can help you from losing your hair. And they had to walk away, and they would cry. What am I going to do now? The dermatologist, as you said earlier, hasn't been able to help them. And you didn't have anything to help them with. We didn't, as an industry, didn't have anything to help them with. But we do today.
We do now. And that's what's so exciting.
That's what
this
very
is
exciting.
all about.
Well, we had some products that kept it at bay, but now we can slow the process 10 to 20 years. People could have their hair that much longer.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Which is
and if
have
the
better
earlier
hair.
they catch it, the better.
Right. I mean, I'm excited about my own hair. I mean, I still enjoy wearing hair because it's easy, but at least I can wear my own hair now.
But imagine, 20 years ago, if we had something like this available, and we were able to go in and use this and never had to experience the thinning hair. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. This is a pretty great advancement.
It is.
And I have to mention too, before I forget this, over the many years that we've been dealing with laser, we've had people come in saying, well, I had a heart transplant, or I've got a stent, or I've got a pacemaker, or I'm pregnant, or I'm going through this or that. And they say, I don't know whether my doctor will let me do this. Check with your doctor. Here's the information. Have the doctor call us. We'll call your doctor telling them what we're doing. And as soon as the doctor hears them talking about the trichology and the low level light laser that we're using here as an example with this one, they say, go ahead, that's fine. And it's amazing. They use it.
They use it for things.
External.
I have a personal friend who is a dermatologist, and he has one for him and his wife because they fight over it. So they each have one and they use it.
Good.
So
That's very good.
It's an amazing technology, and we in the hair loss and hair restoration industry are jumping up and down because we are now being able to give people the good news when they come in.
Correct.
Unfortunately, there are a few people that you talked about a little bit earlier that they can't be helped, so we have other options for them, the toppers and the full wigs that you'll show us.
They'll go through different seasons or different types of lifestyle, and they might need something, because if they get stressed, their hair falls out, but we can help them get it back. Stress will cause a lot of hair to fall out.
I have to tell you one more story.
Go ahead.
I had a gentleman come in with his 19-year-old daughter. She was just diagnosed with having lupus.
Oh.
She had just won a scholarship to a dance university, and I'm not sure which one it is, but it was for dance. It was her scholarship. And beautiful young girl, but her hair started falling out because of the lupus and all the medications that she was having to take. The girl was just absolutely, she was devastated. And this was like in August, and school was going to be starting in 3-4 weeks, and she was going away to college. And the dad said, I don't know what to do. She's just beside herself. So we got her into using the Trichology products, and we gave her enough to last her till Christmas that year so she could take them to college with her. Gave her one of these to take home. Her dad brought her in at Christmas time when she was home for vacation, and he said, tell your story. And she came over and gave me the biggest hug, and she said, you guys are miracle workers. She says, you saved my life. But we didn't save her life because of medical reasons, but we saved her life because of what we were able to do socially. Exactly correct. So I'm 100% believer it. I'm a doubting Thomas by nature, and I'm not anymore when it comes to hair restoration.
Yes,
Yeah.
I tell people, if you lose a tooth, you think you're going to replace it? I think so, especially if they were in the front.
Yeah, yeah.
So the analogy that, is very apparent when you lose something. And people grieve over losing their hair, their teeth, their spouse, their whatever. It's a
you know
loss.
what? It's anything that makes you feel more confident and in yourself, I think, is important. I know I would want my spouse, if he felt uncomfortable for any reason, to do whatever it took to make him feel confident. Right. And the same goes on the other side as well. And parents, keep an eye on your kids. I mean, Lucinda and I are both very active with the National Alopecia Areata Foundation, where there's young girls who start to experience hair loss. We've met, and nowadays I would hate to be a mom with the bullying that goes on the internet, and we've met so many young girls. But there's so much that we can do now, and to help them.
Well, this is what I bring with me to the Alopecia Foundation, because some of them don't have any hair, and they're not. They're universals. They won't grow hair.
Yep.
So we have to have options for them. And look how lovely some of these are. And they can be spunky, and they wouldn't even know. People wouldn't even know that these are what they are.
And the beauty of it is they have, like, one of my best friends, her name is Kayla Martell, and she won 2010 Miss Delaware. And she travels quite a bit with me as well. And she was a finalist in the 2011 Miss America. And Kayla wore that exact one in a different color.
We did a root color on her.
Yeah, and what's beautiful about, but it was blonder too.
Yes.
But what was beautiful about it was she did a dance routine. That was her talent. And to Michael Jackson, and she did twirls and spins and all kinds of stuff. And because of the patented non-slip material throughout the base of the scalp, the base of the material, it didn't fall off into any judge's laps or anything like that. and I mean, it was actually, it stayed in place, and it's beautiful. So there's a lot of really great options.
Yes, I met her in 2010.
Yeah, yeah.
And she was in a suit, and I was in a suit, and I have that picture somewhere. And this is a little topper here. This is small. It's not too big, but for somebody that wants long hair, there it is. A lot of girls have that real thinning up in here. And this could suffice until they get their own hair back.
While they're getting their trichology. I have one at home that I use on special occasions. It's in my bedroom, and if I'm going on a special occasion, I do my trichology, I do my laser. Most of the time I'm happy with what I've got right now. But if I want just a little more oomph,
you can do it.
I can just it's fantastic.
This is a copy of mine. Actually, this is my base color when I color my hair.
No way.
Yeah. But I do highlights and lowlights on my base color.
Yeah.
And this is my girl. This is copied. This actually has my name in it. Yes, it does. Custom made, just for my little head. And
it's fun because you can play with like highlights and lowlights, and like if you're a blonde, you can. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah.
You know, with
That's just a little halo of hair.
Yeah,
Somebody
but
wants
you could put
you
this
could have
around.
more hair.
Yeah, you could put this around, and
Pull your own
now
hair
all of a
through.
sudden you've got like some different
length and
different
color.
length and a little bit of different color, and yeah.
Yeah, we have
Just
lots
all
of
kinds
fun.
of fun stuff you can do for the immediate gratification, but the goal is to get your own hair as healthy as possible so that it doesn't fall out, and now we can do that.
And a lot of people are using, you know, some products that coat the scalp, whether it's a gel or a mousse, or some people use
The topics,
topics that really cake.
the fibers,
Yeah, we had one girl that had caking this much, and we washed her hair, we still couldn't get it off.
You know, that's so. I met someone in San Jose 2 weeks ago who had that, and she was only 32. She had just lost like 200 pounds, and so her life was changing. She had just got this wonderful job, and then she started losing her hair. And she started using the fibers on top of her scalp, but she used way too many, so much so that I couldn't even scope her that night.
Well, that's what happened to us.
Yeah,
we were
but
like,
see, that fills those follicles, and that fills it, and to where it mimics the DHT, and it will cause the miniaturization and the
even
thinning of the
sooner,
hair.
Sooner.
Yeah.
This is one of camouflage is important when somebody has spots, whether they have alopecia areata or we have
That's pretty cool.
a lot of people that have trichotillomania. A lot of young girls, they pull their hair.
She put it on my wrist. Look, you can't even see it.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, it kind of builds, so if you have a spot, you can fill it in. Like I had a girl that had a wig, and she was newly alopecia areata, and we just couldn't get it close enough. She had hair over here, but not here. We just put this little spot. Let me show you, Ed. Just a little spot here. Voila.
Huh.
And then you let it dry, and then you just rub it in.
And it doesn't come
And
off
you
that
blend it.
easily.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, this is camouflage. And we have one that sprays, too, but I really like this
I
one
like
better.
that one better too because
it's
it doesn't
not messy.
Yep, that one's not going to clog as much. That one's not going to clog the follicle as much.
And
I like
yeah,
that.
we have the eyeliner, just stays on, and a lipstick, because people just are busy. They don't have time to keep reapplying things.
The one thing that laser and the trichology products has done for me personally, and I think for a lot of other people, is that I'm totally bald on the top, like the normal horseshoe hair loss for men. And with using the laser and the trichology products, my hairline on the sides and the back has not gone down one little bit. And a lot of times you'll see that with people who wear toppers like I do, that all of a sudden they got to get a bigger one and a bigger one and a bigger
Well,
one
that's
to cover
because
that
hair loss
area.
is ongoing, right?
That's right.
It's progressive,
That's right.
especially for men, and so it keeps going deeper until it gets to that George Costanza.
I have not changed my topper
Yeah.
size in 15 years.
Al, put your head down.
Can you see?
You can't even tell. This. See
It's a
that
nice
scalp?
blend.
You see my scalp right through there.
Yep. and
That's
it's-
his scalp.
And it's a very good
And
blend.
this is what's beautiful about this is it's his hair 24 hours a day. We've blended it exactly like his own. You can't tell where
and it
this
feels
begins.
good. Feels like it's hair.
Yeah, I mean, you can't tell. He can't even tell where
No.
his own hair begins and
No,
and the
cannot.
new hair ends. And we do the same thing for women. So it's amazing.
Right, and we had just have an easier time matching because we
Yeah.
use the best of the best.
It's just, I just can't stress enough the importance of going to a professional, though. You know, whoever that is, whoever you choose to partner with, just make sure they offer a scalp analysis, make sure they offer all the reputable solutions, and make sure that they're willing to give you references or something. I mean, you just have to be real careful.
Yeah, I'm off to the alopecia convention next month. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
And we help a lot of the girls, give confidence to them.
Yeah.
Because they'll walk around a city they don't know, bald,
Yep.
but yet when they go home, they want to wear hair.
Kayla's going to that.
Yeah, I'll see you then. I didn't see her last year. She wasn't
She didn't
there.
go last
No,
year.
she had the
She's
baby.
going this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So it's been exciting to work with all of you and Kayla and the team. It's been really fun and exciting.
Well, you know, our job, we don't work for Lucinda. We work for the industry, and our job is to find in each area those locations that, like I said, don't offer any of the scams, but offer solutions and all the reputable solutions, and are good at what they do and keep updated on their training and their research and development, and you know, and really invest in their team and in their business and in their clients. Right. And so we handpick them, and we don't go. We don't take it lightly. So we completely vet them, and so I will say this area is very fortunate to have you.
Oh, thank you. I'm fortunate to be in Cheshire. I love it, and I'm part of the community, and I help them, and I feel good about it. I feel really good.
And I've been out here a few times, actually.
Yeah,
and
we had the Recover with Confidence.
Yeah.
Which is for the cancer patients to
Yeah.
know that a wig is not just a wig.
Yep.
Has to be fitted. It has
Yep.
to be.
Weighs less than 2.5 ounces.
Right. It's so lightweight.
Yeah.
And people want that because
Yeah.
they
So-
had
so
the
yeah,
old-fashioned grandfather's hairpiece
That's right.
and grandmother's wig. And now we have see-through, and they're wonderful. So I'm really excited to be part of this industry. Always have been, and it's just getting better.
Yeah, and the trichology, the certification is growing, and like I said, there's going to be a lot of news about it coming up. And so my recommendation as a hair loss expert is to do your homework, and make sure that you align yourself with an expert at this, someone who knows what they're doing, and that offers a multitude of product depending on what the ailment is, not the same
the
thing.
condition. Yeah.
And someone who offers the scope analysis and can show the difference. And
It's only going to get better, because I remember when I first had the laser, people just thought it was a scam. They thought that was a scam.
well, laser
Sure.
works by itself.
I know.
And trichology works by itself, but the two together is dynamite. I mean, they're just made for each other.
Yeah, it really, you could see the progress.
Yeah.
You can watch it. You just don't take a picture of it. You get an analysis.
Yeah.
And blown up like this.
That day,
Yeah.
The day that you
Yeah.
come in, you get an analysis. You get it scoped, and then you can have your scalp treated, and then see the results, and right there in front of your eyes, and it's pretty spectacular.
And you can watch it progress as the months go
Yeah.
on. So we have to end tonight, and I want to thank the audience for listening, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And I want to thank Ed coming all the way from Minnesota, and Rhonda coming all the way from Florida. So I picked them both at the airport today. So they'll be with
And
us.
couldn't you have made it a little warmer for me?
I know.
South Florida.
It was warm yesterday. It's going to be warm tomorrow. But I went to Germany, and we're going to end this soon. And when I came back, I do what's up, and he said, "Oh, from the sunny Netherlands," and I went, "Oh, and we're flooding in all over the country, and we're raining in Connecticut." What are you gonna do? Yeah, take what you get.
Yeah, so this was a lot of fun.
Thank
I
Yes, thanks
enjoyed
for
this.
having us.
Well, thank
Yes,
you.
thank
And
you
we'll
for having
continue.
us.
Thank you for supporting us. And-
Absolutely,
and
absolutely. We
being
will always
part
be
of
there
our
for you.
Team, you know.
Yep,
our team.
we will always be there for you.
Thank you. And I want to say goodnight to our guests out there, and God bless.